Head coach is Rob Angioni. Now, starting lineup for Crestwood Prep. Number 2, Rebecca Demeke. Number 23, Cheyenne Day Wilson. Number 24, Aaliyah Edwards. Number 30, Kayla Drummond. And number 33, Natasha Latimore. And your head coach is Marlo Davis. Please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem. 3 minutes to tip-off.
And here we go with our first quarterfinal matchup featuring the #1 seeded Crestwood against the 8th seed Southwest Academy. Steve, excited for a great day of basketball here. We're at the OSBA quarterfinals.
Yeah, I mean, real excited to be in the arena as well too, Max. We got the OSBA playoffs going on, kicking off the morning this way this evening after we get wrapped up. You have the U Sports Nationals kicking off as well. So great day for women's basketball here in the heart of Toronto. I like you get a chance to start these tournaments and you get started in the playoffs, and then of course you get the #1 seed right away. It kind of brings some excitement and energy to the entire playoff process.
Woo. Big tip there, and Lattimore is going to collect it, and Day Wilson holds here for Crestwood. Woo. Edwards pass for Demike, just out of her hands. It's going to go out of bounds, ball over to Southwest.
I think one of the biggest challenges that you face when you're at Crestwood in a scenario like this as the #1 seed undefeated team is actually the first few minutes of these games. You want to ensure that you play through any of those nerves, get yourself into a bit of a rhythm, put that pressure back onto Southwest. You don't want the opposite to be happening and have them feel like they can be in the game just because of the added pressure of a playoff scenario.
Jumper there by Payne was too strong. Demike cleans it up for Crestwood, and Day Wilson's looking to probe in transition. Lattimore out to Edwards, open for 3, just off. Drummond there with the follow. That one's off. Another offensive rebound, though, and Lattimore is going to put that one in.
I like the pass there, too. Day Wilson finds Lattimore to cut him behind the zone, and that softens the whole thing up. You get her in transition. You have Lattimore in the key with a touch. Everyone collapses on that, and the ball moves to get a great shot, and then the offensive rebounding.
Woo. Hanging in the air. Denise is going to be fouled there by Edwards. It's going to be her first. We're going to get Denise going to the line for 2.
It's a good one for Southwest. I mean, if you start this game off and you could pick the things they want to have happen, a couple trips to the foul line early would have been the ideal, but my correction on that's out here.
Yeah, my fault. It's going to be on the pass, not the shot, so Southwest on the sideline. Here's Hilton probing. Ooh, little hezzy in the lane, right to the rim, and she's able to finish for 2.
Nice read on that. Hilton feels the defender had slid up and taken away the go to the middle. Forward wasn't really in place to take with a baseline drive, so just a little hesitation and tacks back to the open space.
Okay, Day Wilson finds a cutting Edwards. She's able to hit for her first 2 points.
Feel that impact Day Wilson has here nice and early. Couple passes now. We talked about the one earlier to Lattimore, now this one to Edwards as well. She's creating them shots just by moving the ball timely, getting the defense going one direction and passing against the grain.
We're going to get a quick foul there called on Demike, picking up in the full court. It's going to be Crestwood's second foul here of the quarter. Denise at top. Guarded there by Drummond. Active hands able to get in the lane with the crossover. Good help there by Edwards. Payne in the corner for 3. Just too strong. Fight for the rebound. Edwards is going to come up with it. She's going to push.
Edwards does a great job on that rebound. Felt like Southwest almost had their hands on it. Strong hands to get her hands into that mix, rip it away from her. That's a tough rebound to get. It's outside the body as well. Real impressive rebound for Edwards.
Edwards, little pull up on the baseline, too strong. Lattimore, though, pulls down that rebound.
Oh, nice pass.
Another cut there by Edwards, working early here with Day Wilson. We only have 5 on the shot clock. Crestwood's got to go. They get it to Day Wilson. Woo! Hezzy crossover spin, pull up on the elbow, and it's good. Okay.
Well, you got to love her impact here early. We've talked about the passing now. She's had 2 or 3 great passes. Woo! But then Day Wilson just continues there. That time they get stuck in a late clock. They don't really have anything going on offense, so she just takes on herself to create a shot, finds an offensive rhythm, finds a little pocket there in the step back and makes it. So, I mean, just a complete player right now, making offense both for her teammates and herself.
Unfortunate miss there as Payne got open other way for Southwest. Not going to be able to miss too many of those if you're going to hang in this one with Crestwood. That one's off, but Skoskin, great rebound, finds a cutting Hilton in the lane. Her turnaround jumper, she'll be fouled. It's going to be Demike picking up her second there, and we're going to have Hilton going to the line.
Yeah, I think you're right, Max. I believe for Southwest right now what you want is you got to stay in this thing as long as you can. I mean, when you're playing the 1 seed in the playoffs and an undefeated team at that. You want to make sure you're in the game as long as you can. You don't want to be in a scenario where you're trying to come back from a 10, 12, 15-point deficit to make a run on them. So the longer they can stay in it, hopefully that puts some pressure on Crestwood, but you can't let it slip away here in the first 4 or 5 minutes. And as we mentioned a bit earlier, the trip to the free throw line might be a real nice a bonus for Southwest to kind of chip away at some points, stop the clock, and just calm some nerves.
Unable to hit either from the line, but good fight there from Payne. Pressuring Edwards there on that rebound. It's going to be tipped out of bounds on Crestwood. It's going to be Southwest ball here, baseline 14 now on the shot clock.
Yeah, the rebounding effort can earn you extra possessions, and that's an example right there. You go and you get a chance to knock it off somebody else.
Ooh. Trying to find Martin down low. Just a bit over her reach, so it's going to go back over to Crestwood. It will be interesting to see how Southwest does get Martin involved here early. She has been a main focal point of their offense this season, and we haven't seen her get many touches early on in this one.
Yeah, it's a tough matchup for them in that sense. I mean, with Lattimore and Edwards and Drummond all in the paint defensively for Crestwood, it's a tough matchup for Martin to really get into rhythm. So she's going to need some help from the perimeter to create some space and pull those bodies away from the basket to really give her a chance to go score.
Reed's shot up top, too strong. Fight for the rebound. Good job, Skoskin. Gets it to Martin. Here's Hilton's going to bring it up here for Southwest.
Good look there, though, for Reed, though. Crestwood's got it like that. They get themselves a little offense. They run a little quick hitter for her, bring it to the top. She's left unguarded, get a good, clean look from three. You won't make them all, but if you're getting clean looks that way, I think Crestwood's going to feel good about how the offense is starting out.
And an 8-second there is a little bit slow getting it over half there for Southwest, so it's going to go back over Crestwood here. 6:48 here to go in the first. Woo. Edwards finds Drummond right there on the doorstep. Martin's going to come over, pick up that foul. We're going to have Drummond go to the line.
Drummond has a nice sense there. She sees the entry pass go to Edwards. As soon as she feels her defender start to creep towards Edwards on the drive, she slips in behind that action. Then Edwards does a nice job finding her, but I thought it was Drummond's play off the ball that really create that space and the opportunity and once you're underneath the basket unguarded. Great chance to either get 2 points or draw the foul, which Drummond does.
Unable to hit either, but right there, Leah Edwards able to get the offense rebound and puts her foot back in.
Great spin, too. Edwards does a nice job getting the contact first, getting the defender on her heels, then spins off. Not going the other order, leaving space for the defender to challenge the shot.
Skoskin on the right block, just the post-up move, too strong. Crestwood cleans it up, and here they go in transition. Good job, Southwest, able to stop that break, but here's Edwards on the left block. Good job by Payne, able to cut that off. Zulich is unable to hit the three, and Southwest cleans up the mess.
Another good clean look, though. Edwards makes a nice kick out. She goes middle. Southwest does a nice job collapsing, taking away the look. She falls a little bit off balance. She's able to regather herself and then make a nice pass to the top for an open shooter.
Woo. Good job by Hilton. Crossover gets in the lane, gets a good look for the pull-up, unable to hit that one. Edwards comes in with another rebound, and here a 4-on-2 break. Edwards' little pull-up at the foul line, just too strong. Great look, though, there for Crestwood.
And that's part of what makes Edwards so dynamic. I mean, we've seen her now cleaning up the glass at both ends, scoring down the block, scoring on a bit of a face-up game, but also has the ability to get a defensive rebound or a loose ball on her own end, put on the floor and start that transition break, and the decision-making skills to read the defense falls back and can take the shot. So real complete player and part of a big package. You'll notice a lot of the Crestwood athletes can do that to allow their transition to be multidimensional.
Oh, thought about the three. Good job there. Zulich able to cut that opportunity down. 6 on the shot clock. Find a cutting Dawkins there, unable to hit the layup. Rowe with the follow, too strong. The second follow, and it's good.
They needed that. Good hard-earned basket for Southwest, working on the glass. They had a real nice play in the cut to get Dawkins for a good, clean look. It didn't fall, but it earned the opportunities back with 2 offensive rebounds to get the points, and they need those right now to stay in this.
It's Lattimore driving long, stepping to the finger roll, just too strong. Rowe cleans it up.
Looked like she might have put the second hand on the ball there for a second, threw herself off. She might have been out of her own rhythm, kind of got caught between steps after that.
Benny's on the block. Trying to work on Zulich. Gets the spin to the hook. Too strong. Southwest, though, crashing the boards. No shot clock reset. Dawkins got to go quick, and her floater's good.
There you go, and that's what Southwest needs here. There's a couple stay in this thing, like we said. I mean, you get to the first 5-minute mark, it allows you to calm down a bit, and you know the task you have against you going against the 1 seed in the first round. So, again, if they can play enough defense, again, enough offense just to stay in this thing longer, it will eventually shift the pressure to Crestwood. But they got to find a way to continue to earn those points.
Here's Dabrell, gets in the lane. Good defense there. Gets a 3 for Zulich. Fight for the rebound. Martin's going to tip it out. Steinbricker, good job there. Cut off by Dabrell. Swing around Denise for 3. Too strong. Zulich leaking out. They get it to her on the left side. Just off with the layup.
A pretty good pass there by Lattimore as well. Led her towards the basket. I think it just caught Zulich between the space where she wanted to take a dribble or just go 2 and up.
Oh. A little confusion there with Dawkins. Got a little tangled up with her feet. We're going to get called for the travel there.
I think she had the same thing. We talked about Zulich at the other end. Zulich, caught that one in transition. Was unsure if she wanted to dribble or just go up. I think got caught between steps. I think Dawkins the same thing. First start that move thinking she's going to shoot a long floater, and then midway through the move decides she probably wanted one more dribble and get all the way to the rim.
You're going to have subs as Demike and Day Wilson. Both check back in. Oh, and Edwards for Crestwood. And get it Woods and Payne back in for Southwest. And right away we're going to get a look here for Edwards on the block. Going to pick up the foul on Payne, and she's going to go to the line for 2.
Yeah, great drive and kick there too. So you get the defense shifting down. Edwards feels that, gets herself to the top of the charge circle. She's unguarded. Gets a touch there. That draws a foul. So nice cut without the ball. Nice job by Crestwood penetrating and waiting for the second defender to come before they drop off the pass.
It's our first free throw made of the game, Steve. 1 for 5. Here we go. Just an early morning here. 2 for 2 there for Leah Edwards. She's up to 6 on the game. Crestwood leads this one 10-6. 3:30 to go here in the first. Little step back there, Steinbrickner. Just short. Fight for the rebound again, though.
Nice job. Nice job in there fighting.
Woo! Zulich's pass going to be tipped away there by Payne. It's going to be Crestwood ball baseline.
Dave Burrell's a nice job there. I mean, she ended up not getting the rebound, but I think her putting the extra effort to jump in there, put her body on some of the Southwest athletes, got the extra touch, and then eventually earned them that rebound. So nice job, the little guard getting in there.
Get it right to Edwards, going to work on the block. That one's just off.
Good offense. So Southwest needs some shots to fall right now. It feels like Crestwood's getting some really great shots. They had some that haven't fallen, but they've had probably 3 good looks from 3, some good post touches.
Great drive by Payne, gets right to the lane, and she's able to finish for her first 2 points.
And on cue, that's what Southwest needed, with some good high-quality shots themselves. Ooh.
And right back the other way, Cheyenne Day Wilson with the lefty plus the foul.
That's, I mean, the neutralizer. So we're going to talk again. If you're Southwest trying to keep yourself in this piece right now, you get the basket you get the 2 points at the basket on the other end, then you'll come back the other way and like Day Wilson get right back to the basket herself, and that's going to be undo all the work you're putting in here. So they've got to find a way to slow down Crestwood and continue to earn themselves some points.
A little hesitation, gets in the lane. Great job, Skoskin. Dawkins, whoo, long stepping in the key. Great floater, just off.
You like that from Dawkins. Like, you like that aggression. I thought it was a really great read. I mean, for her to get that close out, the shot, fake, and attack, that's what you want from Southwest. You want that opportunity getting into the heart of the defense. She takes on Edwards at the rim. Like, if you're Southwest, you love seeing that from Dawkins. You don't get the final outcome you want on that possession, but it's all the right things happening. And then we mentioned, too, Max, earlier a bit about Edwards and her ability to take or break out and lead the transition. And we see it again here. She does a nice job challenging the shot, turns around, gets the defensive rebound, then puts the ball on the floor and has the sense. Like, it's not just dribbling in space, but actually the sense of where that defender is. Goes to her to cut her off and draw that contact, ultimately draw the foul. So not just dribbling because she has the skill set to do it, but also a sense of how to use her body in part of that transition breakout.
Demike for 3, and she buries it.
I mean, you get a great shooter like that. We've talked about the quality shots they've had. They finally get Demike a good, clean look. You know they're going to start to go, and
Yeah, it was about time before they started to bury some of them.
Yeah, and Southwest doesn't want Demike getting clean looks.
Oh, right back the other way. The answer, Emily Payne.
Timely. Big shot for Payne there. She's had 2 big buckets for them, too. We'll see if we can get her going a bit for Southwest.
Oh, no, look there. Cheyenne Day Wilson finds Latasha right there. 2 points.
Day Wilson's just been offense the entire time she's been on the floor, and most of it's just been the passing, setting other people up. She did have two big hoops that she scored, but
okay, Latasha.
Her ability right now to get into the defense, get the defense almost like freeze or look at her, then pass where they should be moving, has just created great opportunities for all of her teammates. So Day Wilson's been really the engine here early on for Crestwood.
Ooh, Payne finds Hilton right there. Unable to hit it right there. It's going to be Crestwood, Demike. Here's Lattimore in transition. She gets the pull up. Ooh, just off. Here comes Southwest. Okay, Hilton. Little spin move right to the lane. Unable to hit that one, though.
Yeah, real nice move, but I do think that's part of the Lattimore effect as well. You spin on her, and you can still feel her presence. I mean, we saw the block just moments ago, and you're probably spinning off her, still realizing the amount of space she can make up, and she can go up in the air and take away shots. So I think you get a little rushed if you're Hilton there, and a great move ends up being rushed and a little heavy off the glass.
Southwest going to go zone look here on defense. Just going to pause here as we get Day Wilson tucking in her jersey. Day Wilson Edwards back with a spin of her own. Fadeaway's no good. Martin's going to clean up the miss, but another great look for Crestwood. We have Haley Woods leaking out there for Southwest. Kicks out Emily Payne, another 3. That one's just off.
Yeah, Payne's doing a nice job here trying to keep Southwest in this thing.
Okay. Wilson, a little crossover hesitation. Gets in the lane, going to draw the foul there. It's going to be on Martin. It's going to be her second, and Day Wilson's going to head for her first 2 chances at the line.
I mean, Day Wilson's really put her thumbprint on this early on. This first quarter's been almost all her. I mean, clearly there's been some other people contributing, but she's generated so many opportunities for her team. She's gotten herself in transition on a couple opportunities now, converted both of those, one getting right to the basket for the M1, this one drawing a foul. And also, I mean, as part of all that, getting great shots for her team, but distributing those great opportunities amongst her teammates. So they've got a lot of weapons on Crestwood, and she's probably had 4 or 5 of them involved on great passes early on.
Short on the second, but fights for the rebound, picks it up herself, gets a good look. Demike at the top. Her shot short. Lattimore, though, skies above the defense. Her putback. Edwards this time. Pump fake, gets around and going to draw a foul.
Yeah, the offensive rebound just earning you chances, and Lattimore was an impressive. I mean, you see both sides there, a real impressive athletic play to go up and get the first one. Edwards in a nice display of strength in the second one to hold off the defender and create space to get that second rebound, does so. Earns a trip to the free throw line. So rebounding, extra points, and free throw and points from the free throw line are really starting to pile up here against Southwest.
Unable to hit the second, but again, Crestwood's going to come up with that miss. Day Wilson's going to slow it down up top. Different zone look here from Southwest. Day Wilson's going to probe from the top. Good job there by Hilton, able to bottle that up. We're going to get a shot clock violation. Good job, Southwest.
Yeah, you think a bit of, though, if you're Crestwood or Southwest, whatever side of this you want to look at, like that possession ended up lasting, felt like 3 minutes of real life time, but with the offensive rebounding, it was like a shot, free throws, offensive rebound, free throws, offensive rebound, and again it goes up to the end of the shot clock. So Crestwood did a real nice job kind of asserting themselves in that last 3 or 4 possessions all into one. It's been a long time since Southwest has been on the offensive end. And that's a good momentum builder going to the end of the quarter break. Or, like I said, at the flip, it's a tough one to overcome that you got to correct.
Good look here, Woods, her long jumper, and she's good for 2. Her first 2 points of the game. Woo. Little half-court jumper, Day Wilson, just too strong. But with that miss, we have here the end of the first. Crestwood leads this one 20-13. Leading scorer here for Crestwood early on is Aaliyah Edwards with 8.
And I think when you look at this first quarter, I think both teams would probably take the number one thing back is actually just the trip to the free throw line. Southwest, just to keep themselves in this thing, you want to get those free throws back, and you need every point you can. And we talked this a couple of times, is it has to have a feel that you're in this game to put the pressure on the one seed. It's always the way you have to go as the underdog. It's really difficult to think they're going to get in a spot where they're going to come back from 15 down against Crestwood, so you need every point you're getting. On the flip of that, if you're Crestwood, you've probably done enough this quarter to really open this thing up. So 7's a pretty good quarter, a margin to win by, but they probably had chances to make it 12, 13 if they'd made their free throws as well. So just points from the free throw line right now could make a difference going either way.
We did also, that was Martin on that last foul, picked up her third, so that's a situation to watch here going into the second and then in the second half for Southwest. So she is one of their primary players, both offensively and defensively, especially with Crestwood's length down low. So something that Coach Angione is definitely going to have to manage here carefully as he tries to fight back against this Crestwood deficit.
That will be a tough one for Southwest. So we had mentioned her scoring, and you've mentioned it as well, is a big part of their offense on Southwest, and the challenge she faces against the bodies in the front court that Crestwood provides. But that being said, if you take her off the floor, you're taking away their best front court player for Southwest, and it gives them a challenge both on the glass, defending those forwards in the paint, which has been a challenge already for her with the 3 fouls, but also giving them any kind of threat at the rim. So Southwest needs Martin on the floor, and I wouldn't be surprised to see her play still close to a regular amount of minutes in the first half, because I don't think you want to let this thing get too much further than it is if you have hopes of moving on.
All right, and coming out here to start the second for Crestwood, we have Drummond, Edwards, Lattimore, Day Wilson, and DeMackay. Out here for Southwest, we have Skoskin, Denise, Payne, Hilton, and Rowe. Southwest ball here to start the second. Good pressure defense here, DeMackay. Crestwood applying tons of pressure here to start the second. We're down to 9 here on the shot clock. A little bit too aggressive there, though, late, as DeMackay is going to pick up her third foul, too. Another foul situation here.
Yeah, and you could see the reaction from the Crestwood bench. They had such a tremendous possession defensively coming out, applying a bunch of pressure. They blew up the early action. They made the passing out of that corner area really difficult. So a lot of pressure is falling on the ball carrier. DeMackay was chasing her all over the floor, but then you get a little excited at the end there, and you almost jump into that space and get a body-to-body foul. And you can see the Crestwood bench being like, didn't need to do that part. You'd already done your job and had that thing contained, and they were feeling the pressure.
Ooh. Okay, Hilton tries to find Rowe on the dump off. Just a little miscommunication as where each other were going to go, but good opportunity there for Southwest. It's Lattimore working on the block, gets around the defender. Shot's no good, going to touch her and out of bounds, so it's going to go back over Southwest way.
A nice move by Lattimore, though. You saw some frustration for her on the miss, but I thought the actual move, she had the seal, felt the defender high side, took a nice drive step to get right to the rim. So I thought good entry, good offense to get a good touch that they wanted to start the second quarter, and you get a real good shot attempt out of it. Unfortunately, just didn't fall for Crestwood.
Skoskin's pull up is short. Edwards cleans up here. She comes along, stepping through in transition. Finds Day Wilson, a little hezzy. Ooh, little jelly just short, but there's Lattimore for the follow.
Offensive glass continuing to be a problem here. I think Southwest is really going to put an effort. They need 5 bodies in there, especially without Martin on the floor at the current time. They're going to get everybody being a part of the rebounding effort.
Payne the quarter jumper, no good. Rowe with the follow. That one's off. Hilton, though, fighting for this rebound. Payne and Drummond both hit the floor. It's going to be jump ball. It's going to go over to Crestwood.
I do think that the Lattimore effect is part of these shots around the rim that Southwest can't get to go. We probably had one they passed up there on one of the first possessions where they probably should have gone for a shot attempt, but you pass up looking for one more. You get a little rush on this offensive rebound. We talked about one in the first quarter, and it is the Lattimore effect. I mean, she takes away shots out of space that you're not expecting, and you get a little rush not wanting that to happen.
Back the other way, Lattimore attacks right to the right, going to draw the foul there on Rowe, and she's going to head to the line for 2 chances.
Nice shot fake there, too. Lattimore gets it at the top, and that pulls the defense to kind of step towards her first, and it's easier attack defense going against the grain, meaning you get her to step towards you to challenge that shot, which she did on the shot fake. You look at the rim, you're a threat, they come. Once defense is coming at you, you go back against them, and now they're at a disadvantage, and you get a chance to draw that foul.
Two for two there, Latasha Lattimore. She's up to 8 points here on the game. 24-13 here. Crestwood leads this one, 8:30 to go in the first half.
Yeah, free throw starting to fall. I wouldn't be surprised to see Martin coming back in this game real soon. I think if you're, I don't know what the number is that Southwest has, but usually you have a number where you don't want it to get to, where you still feel you can make yourself a comeback. And I think fouls or not, you can't let it get to that number.
Good job there by Southwest, able to get in the heart of the key. Good job, though, by Day Wilson from behind, poking it away from Payne. Good defense there by Crestwood, taking away all opportunities. It's going to be 5-second violation going back over to Crestwood.
I find those ones are always like the baseline out of bounds. When you can get a 5-second call, it's such a boost for the defensive team. You just feel like people obviously did a great job both anticipating and then working. So you have to have a bit of anticipation of where people are going. You have to work hard to take away those passes. And you left the inbounder feeling like there were no options, and I thought those 5-second calls were always a nice boost for like the hard work you were doing on the defensive end.
Good job, Edwards able to cut Dawkins off on that drive. Crestwood ramping up the pressure defense here this quarter.
Nice seal.
You get a 3-second violation there on Drummond, so it's going to go back over to Southwest. With that turnover, going to get a timeout Southwest here. 7:43 to go here in the second. Crestwood leads this one 11-24-13.
Drummond does a nice job there, though, Max. I thought getting inside the charge circle, gets right under the defender, feels her start to step towards the penetration, so just seals in that space. So you're actually standing in that charge circle at that time. I think the mistake she probably makes in that, which the referee called her for, is once you have that kind of position, the ball comes to you, you have to go straight up with it. If you put a dribble on the floor, which she did on the catch, they're going to call you for the 3 seconds. So great work by Drummond, and probably just a small correction of catch and put that thing up, see if you can get the 2 points or draw a foul. So this is probably a critical time here for Southwest. If my feel of the score is close to what their feel as well too, is again, we mentioned you don't want to get to a point where you don't think you can still come back from this. And I'm thinking right now you got to start to talk about that, at least as a staff. Do you think Sammy Martin can come in there and play with the 3 fouls? Because you probably need her. You got to find a way to keep this thing ideally in this range around 10 points in the second half if you want to stay within a striking distance and some pressure beyond Crestwood. If it gets to, let's say, too much higher, you probably take all that pressure off Crestwood. They are a talented 1 seed for a reason. If they have a big lead, it's probably really difficult to climb yourself back into it. So what can you do now to keep yourself in this game and at least have some sense that you're hanging around to put into the halftime for both teams?
Nice little play, gets Payne on the backdoor cut, and her reversal is good.
Great finish there by Payne. I mean, she's had a great first half, but I mean, that was a really exciting, a nice touch to finish the thing off.
Right back the other way, though. Bailey gets right in the line. Vines Drummond right under the basket, and that's 2 more points for Crestwood.
Yeah, nice pass by Bailey. She waited till the defender stepped up and then makes the dump off, so nice job drawing them.
Good move there by Dawkins and got Lattimore up in the air. Just shuffled the feet before she came down, so it's going to be a travel by Dawkins. It's going to go over to Crestwood, and with that we're going to have Martin checking back into the game, and Rowe's going to take a seat.
Yeah, we've seen a couple real nice takes here from Southwest, and I continue to think the Lattimore effect has affected some of their shots in the paint.
Lattimore tries to work on Martin. Her crossover is going to be mishandled. It's going to go out of bounds. It's going to go back over here to Southwest.
But I think if you are Southwest, and the flip of that, you do like that you see your young guards getting in there. They are attacking, and really it's just that next step now of like having the confidence and the pizzazz to go ahead and finish some of those, or at least take that shot and figure out what's going on.
Woo. Good job, Skoskin able there. We're going to get a foul here on Day Wilson. Trying to deny Skoskin from the screen, so it's going to be Southwest ball sideline.
Skos does a nice job there. She felt some of that contact, and I think kept going into Day Wilson as well to keep that contact as something the referees could see, but didn't lose her advantage. So I thought nice job using her body coming off that screen.
Woo. Dawkins quickly around the defense, gets in the lane
Nice
again,
job.
and this one's good.
That's the one you want. I mean, Dawkins done a real nice job, and they've had a couple, but you want the one coming downhill and trying to find a way to get that thing up on the rim. So she turns the corner, goes downhill, and gets a good shot.
You're going to have Bailey's foot stepped on the sideline, so it's going to be a turnover here. It's going to go back over to Southwest.
We'll see if they go to Sammy Martin in this case, or they just actually need her on the floor right now, the different matchups. But with Latasha Lattimore going to the bench right now, this could be a chance for Southwest to look for something inside, get her involved in this before the halftime marker.
Skosen probing, great job, gets some space, unable to hit. We're going to get a foul here on Crestwood on the rebound as Payne was diving. It's going to be on Drummond, so it's going to be Southwest ball on the baseline. Skoskin driving again, able to get around Day Wilson. Reverse though, challenge there by Edwards. Crestwood again in transition. Edwards gets her step back right outside the lane, just too strong. Good job, Dawkins able to bring that one down.
Got looked at the play here. Looked at play in transition.
A little in and out by Dawkins, tries to find Payne. Great job though by Day Wilson, able to pick out that play. It's going to be tipped by her and out of bounds, so it's going to remain with Southwest.
And Dawkins has shown to already have the skill set of things going towards the basket, and this was a good example for her and probably a great learning moment for Southwest is now that she's attacking downhill like that and it gets clogged up, there's nothing there, is the ability to now look back behind her for who's trailing in behind that action or back to the other side of the floor. So can't get directly to the rim. What's the next option to keep that advantage going?
Another good job there on Crestwood on the baseline out of bounds. Steinbrickner gets a good look from the top, just short. Crestwood swings. Here's Demakay, a little floater in the lane, and that's good.
Yeah, nice job. I mean, she's a great shooter. Obviously had a bit of a sensor in the skip going over, but I thought Demakay has nice patience feeling that one there. The defense is still around her. Just one dribble into a great shot instead of taking a good shot.
Okay, great move there by Dawkins. Gets the crossover to the step back. The
Good
floater's
finish.
no good. Martin's able to clean up that miss, though. She'll be fouled on her putback attempt, so she'll head to the line.
And probably the best case scenario for Southwest. It ends up in Martin's hand. She gets fouled. You get a chance to get her some touches, get to the free throw line, see if you can get her involved a little bit here on the offensive side. So Dawkins doing the work, creating a shot. Martin getting a touch, and this might work out pretty good.
Well, 1 point. Good so far.
Might work out pretty good to get a bit of a rhythm going for Martin. But yeah, also good. You got 1 point.
We'll take it. Climbing back in. It's 10-point deficit here. 5:30 to go.
Good find.
Zulich, the corner three. That one's off. Ooh. We're going to get that foul. We're going to say it's on the shot, but the shot did not count. So Edwards is going to go to the line for two.
Edwards shooting two.
It's going to be Payne also picking up that foul. It's going to be her second.
Interesting. I mean, I agreed with the foul being on the ground. I thought that they did a good job of that. The defense hitting her while she's on the ground, but I feel like if she was shooting, maybe the 2 points could have counted.
Yeah, we'll let the refs take it on this one, though.
Sorry, you're right. Day Wilson, great find on the first one to create that opportunity, too. Came down, got that second, the bottom zone defender to step up. Waited for that to happen before she made the kick out. Good patience again by her to find
Hilton, little snazzy pass there. Finds Steinbrickner in the lane for her floater.
Yeah, and Southwest is doing their part of what we talked about. I mean, this is it's a big task taken on Crestwood, but they're doing their job just trying to hang around here a little bit here in the first half.
Back the other way. Floater by Day Wilson. Left-handed, no good. Hilton here. She comes in transition. Those long steps going to be cut off there by Edwards. Picking up the foul. It's going to be bonus situation, though, so Hilton's going to earn herself a chance at the line.
Well, two big things for me on that one. I thought, one, I know the Day Wilson shot didn't fall, but I mean the touch that she has off the bounce to go left-handed like that one, a bit of a scoop hook and over top of a defender. I mean, what a beautiful touch, and that one pops out, but you got to love the finesse that she has in her game. Then the other one, though, is like you do get Edwards with her second foul. That might be a bit of another little gift here for Southwest. If that can limit any of her playing time, that's a big plus. Crestwood has a lot of options, but Edwards obviously a first-team All-Star, and I mean, you can get any less of her on the floor is probably a bit of a plus for Southwest.
Hilton 2 for 2 this trip. We've talked a lot about Dawkins getting into the lane and creating some stuff for Southwest. Hilton I've also been pretty impressed with here early on, creating opportunities not just for herself, but the rest of her team. And it's more of that, what we need from Southwest, now down 10 here, 4 minutes to go here in the first.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Rowe finds a cutting Hilton. She's going to draw another foul, and I believe that's going to be Edwards picking up her third.
Yeah, tough break there for Crestwood. I mean, mostly it would have shown that Edwards is pretty good at playing with fouls. You wouldn't expect the back-to-back, but she did get caught behind Hilton on that case. I mean, Hilton makes a nice cut without the ball, gets Edward in a disadvantaged position, and she's trying to catch up and ends up taking her third foul. So that ends up being a big one. And, again, if you're Southwest, your goal in this thing is to stay in this as long as you can. Now you're hopefully, or not hopefully, but if you're Southwest, hopefully you're putting Edwards to the bench for the remainder of the first half. So if you can use that as a chance to take this thing from 10 to 8, at least makes you feel like you have a bit of that, you're in this game, and put some of that pressure on Crestwood when you go into the halftime.
We're just going to take a break here as the shot clock power has gone off for a second here. So both teams are going to go to their bench, a little impromptu timeout.
I wonder now if you're Southwest too, and we've talked about them trying to stay in this and find an answer. If there isn't a way you can get Sammy Martin a little more involved, Edwards is now going to be on the bench with 3 fouls. I'm assuming that's going to bring back the presence of Lattimore and Drummond in the interior. But if you can still find some touches and spaces for her to be involved before you get to halftime.
Another piece of the Southwest that has been a pretty big factor so far this season is Maggie Dennis, one of their premier three-point shooters. We haven't scored her. She has not yet scored this half. So Crestwood's done a good job taking away her chances both from the outside and inside, but I wonder if Southwest tries to get her going also to try and open up the space for people to then drive some.
Yeah, a lot of their expected offense hasn't been there tonight, and a lot of their young guns have started to step up, so they could definitely use some contribution from their regulars. And this would be the window. You get about 4.5 minutes right now to try and make a bit of a statement and stay in this game, so it'd be a great time for one of those 2 veterans to show up and do some.
Hilton again, 2 for 2. Day Wilson here against Dawkins. And we're going to get a carry there called on Day Wilson. It's going to head back over to Southwest. Didn't see that one much. Was blocked here by the players, but tough call there for Day Wilson.
You'll take some of those. You get a gifted creator and playmaker and Day Wilson, so once in a while she gets called for a ball handling issue. You'll take that for the amount of opportunity she creates, and this is a big call for Southwest.
Oh, no. It's going to be Martin picking up her 4th foul there on the moving screen. She's going to head right to the bench there on that one.
The one plus is that with Edwards on the bench as well, maybe that won't have as much of an impact, but clearly a big blow for Southwest, and probably what you weren't anticipating is her getting that 4th foul on a screening call offensively.
Day Wilson pulls up from deep. That one's short. Another offensive rebound, though, for Crestwood. This time she takes it right to the rim and finishes there.
I actually like the 3-point shot, too. She's allowed to stand there in a bit of rhythm. She was on balance. No one really challenged her or disrupted what was going on, so I like the first shot. Then nice job, Demico, getting it and getting it back to her.
Hilton again tries to go around the screen. Going to get blown up there by the defense, but going to draw the foul.
And this is, if you were to pick a script for Southwest, this is what you would love to do, is you'd love to have bonus, shooting free throws, and just trying to stay in it.
I believe that's also Demica who picked up that foul, and if so, that will be her 4th also.
So the foul lines or the foul storyline's an interesting one here in the first half. So now we have Edwards with 3, Demica with 4, and you also have Sammy Martin with 4 on the other side. And those things end up dictating a bit of your rotations and playing time probably in the second half. And I think the bigger pressure still at this time is on Southwest. You are in a deficit. You're trying to find a way back in. You need Sammy Martin on the floor as much as you can. So they're going to find times where they think they can play her without exposing her for that 5th and final foul. Looked like from here that maybe Crestwood was unaware that that was the 4th foul on Demica until just now as well.
Oh, good job there. Denny's getting a hand on that pass. Crestwood retains it though. Dave Wilson's going to pull this one out. 7 here on the shot clock. Lattimore high screen gets the pull up right in the foul line, and she's going to bury that shot.
And this is, I mean, she's like, we mentioned earlier, just her control of what's happening in the game is just at another level down here right now. And she just feels when they need shots and gets people involved, gets them great shots. And she also feels when she has to take some shots for them. So we talked about last 3, it was the feel she had. And again, the pull up right now on the ball screen. She knows what her team needs to keep this offense going, is doing a great job running the engine.
Good team defense there, Southwest. 3 bodies touch the ball. Payne ends up coming up with a steal. Denise gets a crossover on Zulich, tries to find Rowe, but Lattimore with the long arms comes over with that steal. Here's Crestwood transition, little dump-off pass. Woohoo! Lamaya Hilton, though, with that swat.
Great block, great pass. I think the only thing Drummond would love to have back is when she got that first one, she would have found that defender with her body, not allow Hilton to use all that athleticism to go into space. So maybe a little nonchalant in the catch, but I think Drummond had a great cut coming on the middle of the floor and just wanted to find that defender before you go to lay that thing in.
We're going to have a timeout here. Crestwood, 2:47 remaining in the first half. Crestwood leads this one 10-36-26. Inbound pass there from Crestwood's going to be picked up by Southwest, and here's Hilton in transition, goes right at Lattimore and finishes with the layup.
Yeah, and that's a big step up from what we saw earlier in the game. We talked about passing up some of those shots or getting the opportunities, so real positives from Southwest that these athletic guards are getting to the rim, creating great opportunities for them, and now it's nice to see them taking that and taking those chances. Lattimore will get some, they will block some shots, but you got to finish some as well.
Another misstep there by Crestwood as Reed's going to step out of bounds on that one. They've had a few problems here with the sideline right in front of us. With that, we're also going to get Reed checking out and Edwards checking back in.
This has been, I like the call going back to Edwards. There's definitely a risky component to this. But at the same time, I was just about to say, if Southwest could get this to like 6 points, even going to halftime, the game has not felt like that. So if you were walking to halftime that you're only down 6, you would really start to put some of that pressure on Crestwood. So I like that Crestwood's trying to prevent that.
Good look here, Skoskin for 3, and she buries it.
Yeah, they've been needing that. She got a great clean look. So you can feel a bit of what we talked about now. You just want this pressure to be on Crestwood. You realize the giant they are, the undefeated season, the 1 seed. So if you're Southwest, this is what you want. You just want to be in a game and see if they're going to have anything. You can get hot at the right time. If they have any pressure on them.
Good defense there by Rowe as she bottles up Lattimore on that miss. And here comes Southwest again pushing. Here's Hilton up top, guarded by Edwards. Dawkins filling right behind. The floater over Lattimore plus the foul.
And this is, I mean, we said it in the last possession, but this is the component they were missing was the guards getting in there as they both did. Hilton with a nice change of speed, gets downhill, gets it back to Dawkins, who then again attacks the closeout. So you get 2 great attacks going. But the element they were missing early is for each of them was this chance to go and actually take the chance and take that shot. So they've gotten over that little bit of a fear, have the confidence now going to the rim, getting some of it to go, and it's drawing fouls.
And you have seen they've also adjusted their strategy in going up against Lattimore. In the first one, Hilton went off the goofy right foot off the right side. That one, Dawkins went to the floater a bit sooner than she had in the past. So they're finding ways here against what the Steve has patented, the Lattimore factor. and cut this deficit now here. 3 points, 1 minute to go in the first half. Hilton working against Edwards. That one's going to be tipped away. Here's Rowe at the high post, finds a cutting Skoskin. Ooh, passed up the layup though. Probably wants that one back.
Yeah,
Lattimore gets the steal and sprints right down the other leg. Going to be challenged by Dawkins, and she'll go to the line.
Nice job by Lattimore using her body there. So Dawkins, using her quickness, gets back into that play, a chance to challenge it. Lattimore uses a bit of her strength to hold her off and go pull the thing up there. So both athletic plays that are get a shot up, draw the fouls, and I think I agree mostly with you, though. Skoskin's got to take that chance at the rim down here. They get the back cut, and even if that shot's going to get blocked, you got to get a shot attempt out of that. It can't go.
It was also one of the rare chances where Lattimore had spaced outside, so it wasn't her in the key going to challenge.
Right.
One thing on that last possession, though, Steve, that's pretty impressive. We've talked about Edwards a lot with the breakout and starting the offense. We haven't seen Lattimore do that as much, especially with Day Wilson out there, but picked it up, block, sprinted ahead of everyone, beat everyone down to the other end.
Yeah, absolutely.
As your 6'5" center, it's something you like to see. Unable to hit either from the line, but
a bit of a brain freeze there for Southwest. No one stays on Aaliyah Edwards on the free throw. She gets actually an uncontested rebound on an offensive free throw and an uncontested layup. So after you've worked yourself back into this, that's not – we'll have that moment back.
And quick shot there by Woods. It's going to be short. Here's Lattimore again pushing. Here's Day Wilson, gets some space in transition again with the lefty. That one's no good.
You know, both those lefts have not gone that we've seen from Day Wilson, but we've seen it all year. I mean, what a great touch she has on that, though. Like, it gets up there, it's soft on the rim. And a lot of athletes you'll see, especially at this stage, when it comes out with their left, it's almost like a straight line shot heading towards you need to hit the glass of the rim. But Day Wilson's got it kind of like falling down. It's a nice soft shot. So I think really impressive. Despite both not going down, I think it's a real impressive asset she's got on the left-hand drive.
With that miss, we also have Southwest here taking the timeout. They're down 5, 30 seconds to go in the first quarter. They're right in this thing, Steve.
This is the scenario they needed. Yeah, this is the scenario they needed. And after the last time out they came out, they got a little 7-2 run. If they can get +1, +2 here in this last 30 seconds, it would really put them in the scenario they wanted going into halftime. And what you have to hope from that scenario if you're Southwest, it doesn't mean it is going to happen. What you're hoping for is that it starts to get things a little bit tight for Crestwood. I mean, they look around as the 1 seed, and when you're playing the 8 seed, that's what you want to happen to the 1 seed. Is they feel a little tight, like we should not be in this scenario. And that's what you're just trying to create for Southwest. Just want to keep that on them as long as you possibly can.
Here's Southwest. 30 seconds here in the second quarter. Dawkins working against Lattimore. She's going to block from behind, tipped out of bounds, so it's going to remain here with Southwest.
I like that, though. I like that a lot. You get to see Dawkins still going downhill. Lattimore makes a tremendous block, uses her athleticism and length to get a piece of that thing, but you like to see Dawkins going at her, taking on that challenge, force Lattimore to make that play.
Oh, late on the shot clock. Got to put something up. Great job there, Crestwood, with that possession.
The block ends up doing that. It takes away what was a pretty good possession, a good shot for Southwest. They'd earned themselves a good shot. Lattimore took that shot away. Now you're on a real limited clock. It comes out here. They do a nice job disrupting all of that and ending that. So now Crestwood gets one offensive possession and make a couple subs here to get the lineup they want.
Oh. So we're going to get an off-ball foul on the inbounds for Jay Wilson. With that, they're going to get 2 shots and then the ball back. So not what Southwest wanted there.
Yeah, probably the worst case scenario in that. I mean, you would stop was probably your ideal. get this down, just keep it at 5 going to halftime. But now it's flipped. If you've gone a bit of the other way, you have a chance for them to get trip to the free throw line and a chance to score again. So anyway, you'll ride this thing out, but it's definitely not the scenario you wanted.
It also was Dawkins picking up the foul, which is going to be her third too. So another one to monitor here as fouls mount for both teams.
Southwest is going to have some decisions to make around playing time and rotations here in the second half to make sure they don't get themselves in too much foul trouble, because they need some of these bodies playing that are carrying fouls. I tell you, in all the scenario that didn't go the way you wanted, you also didn't want Dave Wilson to be the shooter going to the line.
We're going to get a timeout here as Crestwood's going to draw up something here with 5 seconds left.
Yeah, I think good call here by Crestwood. You got a bit of, or you earned it, I guess, but you got a bit of a gift on that on the foul before the ball got inbound. You get the 2 points, so you've already had the bonus here, push this thing back to 7. Now with 6 seconds or 5.5 seconds, you have enough time to get another good quality shot out of this, and I wouldn't be surprised that it's going to go to Dave Wilson first, and you probably get Edwards playing wherever you think the defense is going to come from to force that issue. If you're going to come help on Dave Wilson, then leave Edwards, or you're going to just stay one-on-one with Dave Wilson in the last 5 seconds. And
we also saw them put Demike back in, so she's someone that you don't want to help too much off of and give her an open look as probably one of the premier shooters here in the OSBA.
Correct.
She's checking in basically just to spread the floor, probably for Dave Wilson to find something, but probably not the person I would want to help off of. It's going to be Crestwood ball. Demike's going to inbound here for Crestwood.
Crestwood ball out of bounds.
Okay, Lattimore high post, kicks out. Here's Bailey for 3. Rattles out the tip from Edwards, just short. Great try, though, there.
Yeah, and some credit there to Demiko as the inbounder, and obviously the right person at the job. They run Dave Wilson to the top. Crestwood Southwest jumps up to take that away. Didn't want it to get to Dave Wilson. Then she was able to read that. Instead of forcing it to Dave Wilson, went right to the pocket that was created in the middle of the defense, was with Lattimore, and then she makes a nice next pass, and they get a great shot out of it. Just doesn't fall.
And with that, we do have the end here of the first half. Crestwood leads this one now 40-33.
So the last foul doesn't end up being too much. I mean, you get the 2 points. It could have had that potential without the foul call, so 7 points. But this is in the range that Southwest had to want. This had to be
won the second quarter.
Yeah, they had to be, and this is a desired outcome getting into halftime. The longer they can stay in this thing has got to be what their goal was in this matchup, and to keep it at 7 points is at least got to have Crestwood feeling a little bit of that sense. So now for Southwest, you're looking at the first 5 minutes again of can we come out and just continue that field goal? We want to mount a little bit on you of feeling the pressure of the 8 seed being in this game.
We did talk a bit. Southwest, they were at 5, I believe, before that last few possessions. They had the big 3. Dawkins got in there, got the and one. They had a few mental lapses there late in the quarter with the Edwards wide open, put back layup, then the off-ball foul with the 2 free throws and possession. So some mental lapses gaining here for Southwest, but hasn't hurt them too much so far.
Yeah, and they are the ones, I mean, you'll look back, when you are an 8C playing against the 1, against an undefeated group, you are trying to eliminate all of those things. You don't want to beat yourself, and unfortunately there were a couple moments, as you said, that I'm sure Southwest would love to have back. You don't want the uncontested free throw, as you mentioned, for Edwards, and we would have loved that last foul to not have been on Dawkins as well, with the foul trouble they're currently facing, but at the end of the day, you got to put that in the past. You get yourself in a 7-point game at halftime, and that, like I said, has to be a positive for them, what they want in this game.
Yeah, all right, so 8 minutes to go here. We'll see you guys second half. Great game.
Not going to start.
So coming out here to start the fourth, we're going to have, the third quarter, sorry, the second half. We're going to have Crestwood, their regular starters on. We're going to have for Southwest. Rowe's going to start instead of Martin.
And you can see the foul factor playing here early out. So we thought this would be an important start, important first few minutes for Southwest. Try and stay in this thing, keep some pressure on them.
Big board by Leah.
Yeah, and Crestwood comes out with a great response. Goes high-low action. I like that action. Gets Edwards a touch early on the block. She finishes. Lattimore with a nice pass. So this is what Southwest has to combat early on.
Oh, great play there. Gets Dennis a good look for three, and she buries it. Her first points of the game.
Both teams come out and get probably one of their primary scoring options involved in a spot they like to have it. So you got to give credit to both teams coming out of halftime.
Edwards tries to pull up three this time. Oh, and the soft touch just rattles that one in.
Oh, that's a big answer. A big one for Crestwood, and it just kind of takes away that little momentum you get from the other end of your Southwest, finally getting the three-pointer to go.
Right back the other way. Dennis gets in the lane. That one's going to be blocked over the top from Lattimore. Here comes Crestwood in transition. Day Wilson, okay, little pull-up three. Deadly.
I tell you, she's just got a feel for the game and just like a killer instinct, which you got to love. They might have had a chance to get that one to Drummond, but she felt the rhythm. She felt the open space. Oh. She puts a huge three-pointer in. This one goes to 12 points real fast.
Skosen gets a good look the other end. Right back, though, Day Wilson again. Woo! That one rattles out. Drummond, good fight. Unable to get it.
Drummond, nice job keeping that one alive. And that's why I say the killer instinct for Day Wilson.
She's
you could just feel that. She's just ready to step on it.
Oh, here's Lattimore. Tips that one away. Drummond picks it up. There's Demake. 3-on-2. We're going to carry there in transition on Crestwood, so it's going back over to Southwest.
Yeah, didn't have a great view from here, but most likely when you get that kind of scenario, when you're in the open floor and in space, that way it means the player probably had some indecision, was about to pass, it changed their mind, and gets caught between two moves.
You're going to time out here, Southwest.
Probably an important one here for Southwest. They got to keep this thing calm. We talked about this number in the first half. Is you got to keep this thing in a range that you feel like you can get yourself back into it. And now you're talking the same factor we talked about in the first half as well too. Is while we know Martin has 4 fouls, how long can you go without her? It's at 12. You're playing against the 1 seed Crestwood. Do you need to make your run now, or can you continue to wait a little bit and see if this other group can get yourself back in it? But I don't think you can get too much higher for Southwest, and they're going to have to make whatever tricks they've got in the bag. Probably got to start to show them now.
Southwest ball.
Southwest ball. As we get Dawkins and Martin both checking in here for Southwest. Skoskin, good look for 3. It's going to be short. It's going to go out of bounds over to Crestwood. We're going to get a sub after that shot, too. We're going to get Denny's checking in. Skoskin's going to take a seat.
Yeah, they've gone obviously with what they thought would be their best offensive lineup, trying to get a little spark here for Southwest, and they get a good shot first possession out of it.
Zone look here from Southwest. Lattimore gets right to the heart, challenges Martin. Good job, Martin, able to stay out of that foul situation, but Lattimore is able to convert right over the top.
Yeah, and I like that call, and I like the decision by Lattimore. You feel the pressure probably on Martin right now. They know Southwest needs her in the game. She is playing with 4 fouls. She's going to be very cautious how she defends on the ball, so you go at her in the high post. Now it puts her basically in an isolated one-on-one scenario and just attack that.
Miscommunication there between Hilton and Denny's. It's going to go out of bounds, trying to hit her on the back cut. Crestwood ball, okay. Dawkins gets the tip. They tie up Day Wilson here in the full court. She's going to pass back. Gets over to Reed, though, who gets it over with 1 second to go in the 8 seconds. Day Wilson, ooh. She tries to find Bailey cutting on the back end of the zone. Going to be picked off there. Good job. Southwest gets Martin a look down low. Dawkins driving from the corner, just too strong. Hilton with the follow, though, and that's good.
Yeah, nice follow. But again, you had Martin getting a touch there, cutting to the basket. She catches it with both feet in the paint. You need her to get a shot attempt out of that, I think, instead of going back around. Worked out that time, but you don't want to pass those up. Touches in there.
Good job there by Southwest, and we're going to get a foul called then on Edwards. It's going to be Edwards' fourth, we believe.
We have substitution on the court.
Yeah, Crestwood has built a little bit of a cushion here as well. They're in got it back to 12 points, but you don't want to be in a scenario where Edwards' minutes are limited. If this game were to stay close or Southwest make a run, you want to have her as an option. So we'll see how they manage her here in the third quarter. This could be the time they think right now they have a chance to put a bit of space between. They want her part of this run, or they may choose to sit her down soon and make sure she's available as an option later on.
Denise gets in the lane. Good job there, though, by Debrel, able to challenge that shot. Clean up the miss. Denise, though, from behind, tips that one away. Here over the top. Hilton to Dawkins, and she's able to finish for two.
Nice job with the ball there, too. They get a good job of getting another turnover. Dawkins realizing she's out of that play, gets out in front of the pack, and then again, getting the ball up to her for an easy two.
Debrel, an open look for three here. That one's going to be off. Lattimore, though, with three bodies around her, is able to clean up the rebound. Ooh. Good job there, Reed, to adjust in midair. Bringing a 3-second call there on Edwards as she was parked in the key. It's going to go back over to Southwest.
And Southwest is, a couple times this game, this has got to a spot where it felt like it was about to get away from them, and they've done a nice job of stemming that tide.
Yep.
They haven't got themselves all the way back. They got to even a 3 or 5 there in the first half. But again, this one felt like it was starting to go, and they stopped it at 10 to see if they can stay in this thing for a little bit longer.
Denise to top from three. Oh, challenge jumper, and that one goes.
Yeah. In an ideal world, they seem to stay in a spot where they're not out of this game, which is great for them. That's what you want to do. But if they really want that pressure to be felt by Crestwood, they got to get a little bit closer still.
One or two more. We're going to get Payne called there for the foul on the reach, and it's going to send Bailey to the line.
And you don't want those fouls. The one where you're just getting a reach in, no contact really in the shooter, and she's just going by for an uncontested layup attempt. Fortunately, it didn't fall, but those are the ones that are high risk for a three-point play as well.
I will say Edwards and Lattimore on that play in the zone, putting them at the high post, have drawn so much attention from the low part of Southwest that Bailey almost had the whole baseline to work with there. So it's such a far closeout there for Payne that ended up not working to her advantage. Hilton gets in the lane, finds Denny's back-to-back threes. This one's short.
So another good look, though. If you can get Denny some more clean looks, she's already knocked down 2 this half. She can continue to get good, clean shots.
Day Wilson got ahead of steam, kicked out to Lattimore. She kicked out to Debrel. A promising look there, just out of her hands, though. It's going to go back over to Southwest. It was a great chance there for Crestwood, but if you're Southwest, you'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes you need a little bit of luck in these scenarios, too, and the one just to go through her hands and get your possession backs. What you'll take.
Dawkins, a little miscommunication there. Going to be tipped out of bounds by Debrel. It's going to be 17 here on the shot clock. Southwest ball. Here's Woods with Lattimore guarding. Payne now. Edwards on the closeout. She knows she has foul trouble. She drives right at her. It's going to be tipped out of bounds.
Yeah, and Felly Payne had a bit of a chance to get a look at it from 3. Didn't like that look. Ended up tacking in there and just was a little bit off balance taking that shot, which is too bad because had a pretty clean look at the rim. So you would have loved to see him to get 2 points out of that possession. And Payne made some pretty good decisions. Just the finish didn't match.
It was almost a situation where she thought she was more open than she would be. Rushed it a bit. This one's a better look and gets right to the basket for 2.
Yeah, gets it back though. So there you go. Stuck with it. They earned themselves the offensive rebound and then they're getting the 2 points still. So this is probably the range where Southwest needs it to be if you're hoping for the scenario. We're hoping for the scenario if you're Southwest that they get tighter. If you're Crestwood, what you want to do is get back to what you had there a bit before, and Dave Wilson wants to get to the spot where you're almost feel like you're not giving them a chance. And Dave Wilson was flirting with that a bit earlier. I think she had one huge three, and then she just missed that second one in transition. And I think she's got a bit of, and what you're hoping for there is, quash those dreams. So both teams are balancing that line a little bit right now, but this is the range that puts a little more pressure on a 1 seed and an undefeated team in a playoff game, more so than the 10-point range.
Southwest did a good job there. Double teaming Edwards on the catch. Got her the fadeaway baseline look. Ended up picking up the foul, though. Those are chances you don't really want against this Crestwood offense, where they get such good looks. When you do get them into a bad spot, you don't want to bail them out with the late foul call. And right back, Demike just checked in, gets a good look for 3, and buries it again.
Now, there's one of those in the first half as well, too. Demike went out to her first shift when she subbed back in for the second time on the floor. They got her a clean, wide-open look, almost like they forgot her when she subbed out. That happens here again in the second half. She comes in for the first time off the bench. Ball moves around, and she's standing all by herself. And both shots she's buried. Too good of a shooter to leave or to lose.
Substitutions on the court.
Denny's working on Demike. Here's Dawkins against A. Wilson. It's going to get travel, picking up that back step on the step through, so it's going to go back over to Crestwood. Had to work, though. Only had 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Nothing going there for Southwest.
Yeah, I felt like Dawkins didn't really want to go create on that possession. I don't think that's where her mindset was when she first had the ball, then realized what the shot clock was and try to improvise. And the improvising or indecision usually causes the most challenge for athletes.
Another good look other side, this time for Demike, and again buries it.
And that's the danger of the first one that you let her come into. Demike is just too good. You give her that first one in rhythm, she gets that shot, she gets established. Now you give her a second shot, now the hand can be up and it's too late. She's already feeling it and too good of a shooter.
Payne gets to the rim again, unable to hit with the right. Here's Edwards in transition, gets the rebound, she's pushing. They kick over, they tried to find Demike too high. Day Wilson though, miscommunication there with Demike. Southwest Woods in transition. Her floater's not off. Zulich is going to clean it up.
Day Wilson's got a great sense about her. Draws defense, does a great job passing the ball. Sometimes I want to be a little more selfish, though. I would have loved her to shoot the last one and probably this one as well.
Yep.
Both were good passes, and that's why I say you don't want to cage up the creativity and the ability she has with the basketball. But I think her talents to score the ball are also an asset, and sometimes she's going to take that shot.
It's right on that edge again, Steve. We're up to 12 now here. 3 minutes to go in the third. This is kind of where, once it's got to this point multiple times, it seems like Southwest has answered, and Crestwood hasn't been able to get much over this hump. So we'll see if this is like the breaking point here. If Crestwood's able to extend it, try and break away with this lead, or if Southwest again is able to fight right back into this thing.
Yeah, it's a funny score margin because, again, like you're in the game. So if you're Southwest, you feel in it, but it's also not a high pressure. It doesn't feel like as tense as when it gets to like 5 points in here. So
yeah,
still a game, but not probably really creating the environment that Southwest is hoping for with the task they're trying to take on.
Also against a team like Crestwood, they're the number-ranked seed. They're undefeated in league this year. You don't want to go into a quarter expecting to have to fight your way back from a 12-point deficit, essentially.
Correct. It'll be tough to win a 10-minute frame against them by 12, so you got to chip away at some of that right now.
Rowe gets in the lane. Her fadeaway, though, is off. Demike looking for Drummond. That pass is going to go to bounds. It's backward to Southwest. If Southwest have gotten a few stops in a row here. They just need to get some buckets here.
Yeah, there's usually a few factors that go into an upset. And, I mean, one, you have to have enough talent to be capable of doing it. Southwest clearly has the pieces to put themselves in this game. But, I mean, to still make it happen, usually you need to be a little bit hot. You got to make some shots. Maybe you don't always. You're hoping the opponent or the favorite team is a little cold and misses some shots they normally make. And then on top of that, you probably need to do a good job getting yourself to the free throw line or creating a couple turnovers, like one of those other pieces that get you some extra possessions. And Southwest has been in this game and done those things, but none of those things are really jumping out yet. They haven't really got red hot where you're like, wow, they're drilling shots they don't normally do. And Crestwood's not ice cold. So, I mean, you can get down to the point where you've stayed in this game now where it's 10 points, where you hope that's what the fourth quarter goes like, but it gets less and less likely at a 10-point thing as it could at like 5 or 6. So they've got to make a little bit of run here in the next 2 minutes, in my opinion.
Day Wilson, a deep three. Just too strong. Payne's going to clean up the miss. There's Denny's crossover on Demike. She's got to be careful with her fouls. Good job putting some pressure on her. The floater, though, too strong. Try to tie up Reed there in transition. We're going to get called for the foul, though. First, it's going to be Crestwood ball.
Yeah, I think she did a nice job, too. There's a lot of bodies around her. Reed did a nice job of getting herself on balance and ripping that through the double team. That drew the foul, and I know eventually it looked like they wanted the crowd wanted a travel call, but I think she did a nice job ripping through, drawing the foul first.
We're going to get a 3-second violation there on Drummond, so it's going to go back over to Southwest. Put a few of those there called on Crestwood.
Southwest ball.
Payne working on Drummond, does a good job getting around her, gets in the lane. It's going to be tipped off of Zulich and out of bounds, so it's going to remain here with Southwest.
Yeah, Payne's done a nice job filling the role. It felt like for a lot of the first half, or when they made a bit of their run, it was Hilton and Dawkins that made a lot of the penetration and creating for them now. And I mean, Payne had a little stretch in the first half for Southwest, but now in the second half, she's been the primary creator of their offense, it feels like. And what they probably need is her to continue and need one more body to step up and contribute to that.
Skoskin's threes too strong. Rowe tries to get the follow.
Crestwood ball.
This is where, if you're Southwest, you don't like it with Dave Wilson. This is where she just has that killer instinct of knowing the feel of this game and often makes a big play.
Almost on cue, gets the little fadeaway right in the face of the defender, but cleans up her own miss.
Yeah, gets the ball back, earns another possession.
They're trying to find Edwards down low. The double comes. Ho-ho! Little in and out spin, gets a good look on the fadeaway baseline. Lattimore, though, offensive rebound. She'll be fouled. She's going to the line.
They get a couple really great shots out there. She get Dave Wilson the pull up that doesn't go. She gets her own offensive rebound. They get a nice entry to Edwards. She makes a beautiful move, shakes a double team, gets a good shot, doesn't go. Lattimore earns an offensive rebound, then goes and draws a foul. So Crestwood probably getting full marks for earning a chance to get 2 more points on this possession.
Lattimore hits both, extends it back up to 12 here. Less than a minute to go in the third. Skoskin, good job, Day Wilson cutting her off. Good look for Steinbrickner, and she hits her first 3 of the game.
You know, and like the way this game has gone has been pretty timely. That's the shot that Southwest hits. It keeps it in that same range that we've talked about. It gets 12 to 9. That's about the range that they're playing, and they just can't seem to get. Another team seems to break it past that barrier.
Another one of those mental lapses, we might say, trying to pick up Day Wilson 90 feet from the basket here, down 9. Fouls her. We're in the bonus, so she's going to head right back the other way for 2.
And Day Wilson deserves a little bit of credit here, too. It's twice that she's drawn a foul in these weird scenarios. The sideline of the bounds at the end of the first half, she gets herself caught up on a cut that draws that foul, gets a chance for 2 free throws, and then here again at the end of the third quarter, trying to get the ball in. She feels that defender putting on some extra pressure, runs into that, draws the contact, and then doesn't get released.
Hits both. Skoskin using the row screen, gets in the lane. Good challenge there by Lattimore. Day Wilson gets the rebound, though. She's pushing. They have numbers. Gets right in the lane, attacks, and finishes with the right.
Yeah, just
okay, Cheyenne Day Wilson. Woo! Nice pass, though. Skoskin finds Payne. Little bit too out in front of her, but Rose right there for the follow. Oh. Stop it. Stop it right now, Cheyenne. Just a step over half. She buries it.
You know, the flurry of that action, I almost was unable to get the last thing in. The last layup for Southwest was probably a really big one for them because it did feel like Day Wilson was starting to do exactly what we talked about. She felt the sense of taking over this game. She felt the sense of like where her opportunity was for Crestwood. Takes a couple real great possessions, makes a couple big shots, and then Southwest appears to have a bit of an answer, and Day Wilson just steps over half, puts the big 3, and puts this thing back to 14. As we've talked about, This game probably hasn't gone exactly like Crestwood would want. A 14-point game is probably a little more of a ball game than maybe they were anticipating. But it's a little bit more than I think Southwest would want for a 10-minute quarter against Crestwood now. It's a big gap, and they're going to find a way to either get red hot or Crestwood's going to go cold in this quarter to make up that gap. So we wrap up 3 quarters. Crestwood leading 66-52. Southwest down to their last 10 minutes here to make this push in the playoff time.
Here's Southwest down 14 now, heading into the 4th. Let's see if they can get some offense going here early on to cut back into this deficit. They get a decent look there for Woods, a little pull-up. Demike with the challenge, though. She gets the rebound. Here they come in transition. Edwards, a good look for 3. Martin's going to get that miss.
They're going to have to find a way here, too. This is going to be Southwest's time. They've got to get some points on the board.
Okay, Lamaya Hilton right to the rim and finishes with the right.
She had a big second quarter, I felt like, for Southwest. Both her and Dawkins, as we mentioned before, getting themselves to the rim. So now getting themselves back in the game. They need her fire, and they're going to find some points because you're going to need Crestwood to be a little bit colder. You're going to find somebody to get some stops because they have a lot of offensive potential themselves, and making up 10 points in a quarter is going to be difficult.
Lattimore out to Day Wilson. Good look here for Bailey from the top. Just short. Here comes Dawkins. Good job, Bailey, to stop that look. Lattimore extending the D. Going to get her hand on the pass, too. Such great play. Day Wilson right over the top to Lattimore, and she's able to finish.
Lattimore, nice sense. As you said, just feels that bit up there, able to get that trap. The trap up the top creates the turnover. Day Wilson does a nice job as soon as it turns over, throwing it out to her teammate in front of the crowd. Easy 2 points Lattimore earned.
Dawkins tries to find Martin cutting. Great pass. Don't know how it got through there. Martin able to hit with the left, though. Oh, little no look. Finds Lattimore streaking down the lane. Her lefty's no good. Edwards on the follow. It's no good. Gets it to Lattimore. Day Wilson's going to slow this one down. Only got 5 on the shot clock, though. Oh, that's pretty deep. Edwards now 2 on the shot clock. Good job, Dawkins able to get in there, get a hand on it. It's going to be shot clock violation. Ball back over to Southwest.
Shot clock violation. Southwest ball.
Ooh. Good job, Dawkins. They were able to get in the lane, going to draw that foul.
Nice start to the quarter. Southwest has a lot of action going towards the rim. They had the one from Hilton where she finished it. They got Dawkins drawing this foul. They also had Martin over the top on the previous possession that was unable to convert, but all good shots going to the rim. And you'd add in the fact that they can get themselves to the free throw line, get themselves the bonus. That would also be a big plus trying to crawl into this game.
Unable to hit the second year's Edwards with the rebound. Pushing, good job. Woods able to Get her to hesitate a bit there. Oh, Dave Wilson thought about it. Gets over to Bailey, though. A good look from the corner. No good. Edwards on the first follow is going to be blocked from behind, but gets it, stays with it, hits a second.
Nice extra pass there from Dave Wilson. I mean, clearly she had a great look on that, but felt one more pass was going to be an even better one. Did happen. That was unable to fall as well, but getting them good shots.
Ooh. Martin decides to take the three. That one's going to be short. You can get Woods picking up the foul there. During Demike.
I mean, the reality is that the clock starts to become a factor already in this game if you are Southwest, and they probably can't go with the flow of this game or the style of this game just to trade baskets or hope that they can trade baskets and climb their way back into it with 7.5. 15 points. They're going to have to find a way to create some extra possessions, get a couple easy buckets. They're going to have to find a way to make up some points here.
Edwards goes right at the basket, finishes with the left hand.
Tough finish. Great job getting around that step. A little bit, she almost got bumped a little off balance is part of the play down the post, but able to still get it to her left hand and finish that scooping while falling down. I mean, just tremendous scoring touch there from Edwards down the block.
Offensive foul, Crestwood ball.
And with that, we're going to get a foul on Martin. It's going to be her 5th foul, so she's going to have to take a seat. Tough one there for Sammy Martin and Southwest.
Yeah, I mean, you hate to see it. I mean, it's the way it is what happens, but you hate to see the last 2 fouls being both offensive screening fouls for Sammy Martin that ended up limiting some of her minutes in the game because of the 4th one, and then now the 5th one obviously ending her day, and had been such a great piece here for Southwest over her career and after their run this year. And now she's going to have to hope that her teammates give her a chance to get one more game.
Edwards tries that one with the left hand. It's going to be short on the reverse. Hilton's going to challenge the hedge there by Samuel's going to pick up the foul.
Substitutions on the court.
2 subs here for Southwest as Dawkins and Woods are going to check out. Skoskin gets in the lane. Payne challenged by Edwards is going to get a piece of that one. Looked for the foul, but it's going to be off. Crestwood out of bounds. It's going to be Southwest ball here. 8 here on the shot clock. That one's going to be tipped by Demike. Still Southwest ball.
Yeah, you know, I don't know if it's the combination of that last left-handed hook that Edwards hit, plus or the foul out of Martin, but it really feels like some of the steam has gone out of the gym here for Southwest, or maybe time's a factor as well, but it does feel like feels a little different than it did 3 minutes ago.
Demike with a 3. Edwards another offensive rebound. Going to get the turnover though, trying to kick the guard. Hilton wants the ball in the block. They don't see her. Payne gets a good look though. Hilton with the follow, draws the foul. Just missed the shot though.
Yeah,
continuing some fight here for Southwest.
Yeah, good persistence, good possession there too. They probably missed one behind them on the first drive, but they get a nice cutting Payne to the basket. She's unable to finish, but Hilton just sticks with it. So maybe this will give them a little bit of spark. Maybe there is that moment of we call it feeling sorry for ourselves as a team when Martin goes down, but now use this as a bit of momentum, get yourself catapulted back into this game.
Hits both. Hilton missed her first 2 from the line, but has since gone 8 for 8.
It's pretty good. You'll take 80%.
It's pretty good.
Anyway, you want to get to 8 out of 10, you'll take 8 out of 10.
Oh, okay. Tries to find a cutting. Edwards going to be tipped away there by Payne. It's 10 here on the shot clock. Demike, another good look. This one from the top. No good, but another offensive rebound by Edwards. We're going to get a foul drawn there on Emily Payne. Edwards continuing to battle down low on the glass.
Yeah, and I mean, credit to her. You can see the physical strength of Edwards right now at this age. And I mean, she's on balance and has a base on her. She's just knocking people around. And I mean, granted, Payne was off balance in that exchange, but Edwards just a physical presence in there.
That one, quick release there by Day Wilson. Good look, just rattles out. Here's Hilton posting up. Day Wilson gets to the fadeaway, goes off glass, just too strong. Day Wilson's going to be picked up there by Skoskin and going to draw another foul.
And again, mentioning like the clock, if you're Southwest and you look at this and you know it's kind of your last pitch here, you have a 5.5 minutes to go, 15 points. That's a lot of scoring that has to happen. So you've got to get hot, you got to find some people making shots, and you've got to create some extra possessions. But in that, if you look at the score of what you want in a quarter, I mean, you got 15 points to make up. You could be positive 15. You also can't be giving up too much to Crestwood in the next 5.5 as well. So it's definitely clock's a factor. The pressure's really on Southwest at this stage now, and I think all game we talked about Southwest trying to find a way to put that pressure on Crestwood, and the reality is now that Crestwood's withstood all of that and put it back on Southwest for the last 5.5.
Demica, another good look right from the top. This one's going to be off. Another good job by Day Wilson finding the open shooter. Hilton's going to be picked up by Edwards. Steps right into the jumper. That one's going to be off. Here's Day Wilson. Whew. Finds Demica, a little floater off the glass, no good. Dawkins cleans up the miss.
Nice hands there with Wilson. Day Wilson does a nice job like creating a couple extra possessions in this game, getting some offensive rebounds, coming away with balls in the crowd. Another steal like that.
Great pass, finds cutting Edwards, who finishes with the left hand.
Yeah, nice pass. I didn't think that was really a window that was open, but Day Wilson found a way to slide that thing in there to Edwards.
Right back the other way. Skoskin gets the pull up. It's going to bounce off. Tipped out of bounds there by Day Wilson, so it's going to remain with Southwest. Rowe gets two. Southwest has done a pretty good job on these baseline, getting some pretty good looks either side of the basket.
Yeah, very true.
I think we saw Payne with a few. We've seen Rowe now. Hilton went for the steal, left Edwards open. He's not going to miss too many of those.
Your point's probably pretty accurate. It's probably one of the pieces that Crestwood will look at after this game, heading into like their future games, assuming that nothing changes dramatically from the scoreboard. And they'll probably want to clean up their set-piece defense on the specials, on the end line ones, because they have, as you said, had some really good uncontested layups almost out of the baseline of bounds. I think 2 or 3 this game, and a couple other good entries for shots.
Kayla Jones, Southwest ball.
Steinbrickner for 3. That one's going to be off. Demica got the rebound, but wanted to break out. Good job. The defense able to stop her right in her tracks. Going to be called for the travel. It's going to remain here with Southwest.
Yeah, jumped up and surprised her. I think the extra body being on her right into the rebound caught her a bit off guard, and I don't think she was prepared to dribble, so got her on the travel.
Good job. Rowe gets right to the lane. She's going to draw the foul. She'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, I think Southwest got through that. We mentioned a bit earlier there was a bit of probably a lull there, so it felt like some energy was out, but I think they've gotten through that, and they seem to be back out competing again now, and some things going their way, working themselves to the rim, going for after rebound. So I think it was probably just a momentary thing, which is probably great. They've probably shown pretty well today thus far, and wouldn't want the last 4 minutes to get away from them after their playoff performance.
Able to hit the second.
Great decision there in the pressure break. When you feel some pressure in the front court, you love to see the guards to get it on the reversal that attack downhill. They're looking to score first, be a threat. Daybell does exactly that, heads to the rim until someone stops her. No one ever gets there. She goes and finishes it. Don't wait for the defenders to get back in the play.
Ooh. Good look here for Denny's for three. Oh.
It's rebound.
Good job, Zulich able to pull that one down. Going to draw the foul. She'll head to the line with the bonus, but shows some of that Southwest fight as Steinbrickner flew in from the top, just dying for those offensive rebounds.
Yeah, that's what I said. They've bounced back. There was probably a little lull there. It might have been the foul out. It might have been the bigger one that had them for a moment on this, but I think they've bounced back and are continuing to compete. I think credit to Crestwood, they've continued to stretch this thing out as well too, but I don't think it's been against the efforts of Southwest, which it looked like there's potential to be there for about a minute or so.
Edwards again, unable to hit the first though.
Great hustle by Crestwood. Then we take possession.
Edwards another touch on the block, goes for the spin, but good job Dawkins getting right in there.
Wow, Joseph again.
Woo! Demike with the follow rebound, no good. Zulich gets that one. Southwest though, getting their hands on almost everything.
Yeah, Joseph, two great plays here. Went out himself, earned one on the floor. They get them a jump ball, keep the possession. They look like one knocked away. She goes and dives and gets that one back too.
Edwards continues to go right to the basket, cuts around the defense, and finishes with the right.
Yeah, I feel like Joseph's the hidden star there in those 2 points. She earned them twice, just like just pure hustle points.
We get a moving screen called there on Southwest. I believe that's their fourth here of the game. It's going to be Payne picking up the foul. It's also going to be her fifth.
Timeout, Southwest Academy.
And I think that's part of the challenge when you face the Crestwood, the matchup that the part of the matchup challenge you face is that they have so many talented forwards and Edwards, Lattimore, Drummond all coming at you that it's a big task for your forwards. They're constantly involved in a lot of actions. They're involved in both ball screens, rebounding, defending the post. They're exposed to a lot of scenarios, high risk scenarios to foul, to commit a foul. And unfortunately for Southwest, those did pile up. Both Martin and Payne end up fouling out of this game.
Yeah. Secondarily, apart from the Crestwood forwards, the guards do a great job putting that pressure on the Southwest guard, speeding them up, getting them to move before that screen is set, forcing that blown up charge, whatever block screen call we want to call it. But
yeah,
it's almost like twofold. They have the forwards that can get out and challenge the guards, but they also have the guards to speed up the offensive player. That
not be set.
They've got it both working.
Yeah, you're right. Great point.
Here we go. Crestwood with the 20-point lead here. 2.5 to go here in our first quarterfinal matchup. Ooh. Coach Marlowe just grabs that. Unimpressed with that pass.
Yeah, as a player, you hate for your turnovers to go to the coach. You always hate that, because then you're looking
grabs
right,
it.
right at the
doesn't
reaction.
even look at any of his players to acknowledge that. Good job, Hilton. Denise in the lane, little turnaround floater, gonna draw the foul, plus the basket. Let's get a 3-point chance here.
Maggie Denise with the and one.
Yeah, just had a pretty good second half. Crestwood did a real nice job in the first half, limiting her opportunities. Didn't feel like she ever really had any clean looks to get herself into a rhythm. And I think that was a bit of a factor. I mean, we talked about Martin obviously be a big piece of the Southwest offense. The matchup and the job Crestwood didn't really let her get going. Denise never really has a chance to get going as well, so it puts a lot of pressure on all the secondary scorers for Southwest to carry the load.
Skoskin gets up, gets a hand on the pass, going to tip it ahead to herself. Oh, Zulich from behind, though, is going to block that one away.
Big block by Sophia.
So it's going to remain here with Southwest.
Substitutions on the court.
Going to have some subs here for Crestwood. Day Wilson, Lattimore, Reed, Bailey,
Coaches, players,
and Joseph all checking into the game.
and refs too. Special shout out.
Also going to have Denise check out for Southwest, which at this point looks like to be her last game with Southwest, as she is also with Martin, a senior, and got a nice hand here from the Southwest crowd.
You know, if you're Southwest, I think there are some real positive things to take from this in your playoff matchup. You know, you're probably a little unfortunate in drawing Crestwood as your first round opponent, but you get some real young guards that came out and showed some nice signs of both creating in themselves the paint, creating for themselves, creating for others. I thought even as the game went on, they had a little bit of growth in their ability to finish and willingness to attack. Some great defenders like Lattimore and Edwards at the rim. So I think there are some real positive signs for a young Southwest team. You're going to lose two big pieces of your offense that we just mentioned as seniors stepping on, but you've got some real nice pieces coming in behind as well.
Yeah, they have the three young ones did a bunch of the damage in that second quarter, with Hilton, Dawkins, and Rowe also down low, filled in big minutes for Martin with her foul trouble. Payne has some years left. So some exciting times here for Southwest in the next few years, as a lot of the offense, especially in this game, will be back.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, they gave the game is stretched to 15 at this stage, but for a large chunk of this game, they kept it at the 10-point, ate it back down to 5, or almost I think 3 at one point earlier or late in the first half, and they really did make it a bit of a game and kept themselves a bit of a chance. So I think full marks for that, and something that you'll use as a bit of a learning tool and building block.
The opportunity for some of these young ones, these grade 9s and 10s, to go up against a Crestwood, the undefeated, the number 1 seed, and they had those challenges early, especially. You talked a lot about the Lattimore factor with at the rim against these bigger defenders. Drummond also got in there. Edwards blocked some, but they found solutions against that. We saw improvement just in this game, so taking these changes and moving them forward, it's almost facing this competition is going to be big for their development going.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think from the Crestwood lens, if we look a bit at this as well too, it's a different pressure, but you do have pressures coming in as the undefeated team in the 1 seed, and they did a real nice job, I thought, of coming in and handling that as well. And this game did end up being a little bit closer at one point, which does have a lot of potential to tighten things up. But I thought they had a response from the players you would want to respond to that scenario did. And what I mean was probably their first team All-Stars. Edwards was tremendous, continued to battle and score. Day Wilson just had a real killer instinct of her when they needed something from her, and she came out of the gates flying that way, creating shots and offense for them. And then when Southwest ever had a run, Day Wilson seemed to be the answer. So the characteristics you look for in a number 1 seed, they showed today. I mean, the score probably didn't go the way they totally wanted, but you like to see that as well. Like, they get into an actual battle, and their response to that battle was pretty bang on.
And Lattimore, too. So many offensive rebounds, creating second opportunities. The defensive end, we've talked about it so much here. They just have so many bodies on this Crestwood team that it just makes it so difficult that both offensively and defensively, if you take some of them out, they have other bodies that are going to get in there and make it challenging for you one way or another.
Absolutely.
Good steal here by Crestwood. Akubasu's going to pick it up, but then going to mishandle it there. It's going to go back out of bounds to Southwest here. 51 seconds to go. Woods gets in the lane, draws the double, great pass, finds Vanderwall, the extra pass to Rowe, the tip pass to Dawkins. Unlucky there as that one's going to be challenged. But some great passing here by Southwest late. Akubasu drives baseline, it's going to be tipped out of bounds, remain here with Crestwood. Ooh. It's going to remain Crestwood ball. Good job, Crestwood there, able to draw the foul. They're going to head to the line for two.
Haley Steiner with another foul. Jagaya Reed shooting two.
Able to hit that one. As Dawkins gets ahead of steam. A little hesitation, gets in the lane, another floater off the bank, too strong, but Woods able to follow.
Haley Woods with the big bucket.
And just like that, we're going to have the #1 seed, Crestwood, take this one, 84-67 over Southwest Academy. Great first game, Steve. We got 3 more on tap.
Yeah, great first game. I think it was, as we kind of just touched on a few moments ago, it really was a good way to kick off the playoffs. I thought both Crestwood showed some real key characteristics you want to see from a 1 seed. They got a little bit of a test today. Probably just some things weren't as smooth as they would have liked, and then had the response they had in that scenario. Some of their best players making big plays when they needed it. I thought the character and the intangibles they showed there was a real good sign of why they are the 1 seed and why they are undefeated. And at the same time, I think if you're Southwest, there's probably a lot of positives you can take from this as well, too. There's obviously the emotion today of your season ending and losing. No one ever likes that piece, but they put themselves in the game. They made a bit of a run, some real nice bright spots on their young stars, and great future ahead, I think, for Southwest.
And here we go, and our second game is going to feature the TRC Academy, the 7th seed, against our CCA Academy, the 2. So another great matchup coming up. So tune back in, folks. We'll be here all day.